What's up, people? Welcome back. Due to standard protocol, I procrastinated, and we've got 8 days, 7 days, something like that, to have a bunch of vehicles that we've consigned to auction ready to go. We've got the 67 GMC you've seen from the revival video, the 69, I think it is, Jeepster Commando we got to get running and get in there.
69.
And then we have a road grader we got to get going and get in there, as well as we still haven't fixed the semi from our last disastrous trip to Kansas from when we brought the last load back. So this video we're just going to do a little bit of work on the 67. We got to get a choke cable on this so that it starts easier when it's cold out, because it's a balming 30 degrees today, I believe it is. Obviously the auction's in a week, so it's not going to get any warmer. We're going to get that choke cable on here, going to give the Commando a complete tune-up, plugs, wires, cap, rotor, all that stuff, get it running good, and have it ready to go as well. I will post a link to the upcoming auction in the comments. Now, by the time this video airs, which will be tomorrow, because this is the day after Thanksgiving, by the time this video airs, these trucks will not be in the system yet. So if you click on that link, obviously these trucks are still here. They're not in the auction system, but I will post a link to their website, and that auction is December 9th, I believe. So we've got 2 weeks basically to the auction, 1 week until they have to be there. Yeah, let's dig into these things, see if we can get some stuff done. Choke cable on the 67, just got it from LMC in the mail today. And then, like I said, tune up on the Jeepster. So we're going to dig into them, see what we can get done. I'll have Austin helping me today too, because I imagine it's going to be quite a bit easier having a person on the inside and outside doing this choke cable. We're putting a factory style back in. I don't want to put the hokey, aftermarket cable and stuff. We're going to put it back in the dash where it belongs and try to keep this truck as close to original as possible. It's survived this long. I'd hate to see it get kind of hacked on, you know what I mean? That's a lot of box. Just push that right back in that box. Shove it in there.
I'm trying not to pop them.
Also, go ahead and throw a link to our eBay store that you see in that box and that packaging. Makes me think of it. I'll throw a link in the description to our eBay store as well. You guys can keep up to date on the parts and pieces we get in and get listed. If you guys, look out. If you guys see some, push out that box for me, please. If you guys see parts, that you're in need of or whatever, that's where you can find them. I guess we need to start by getting that old cable out. We'll go from there.
Ow.
Ow. Right there. Should be able to just basically pull that out. Hang on. We're going to need to see if that knob will unscrew off there.
Yeah.
Yeah, unscrew that, set that up in the dash because we'll need that. And then unscrew that bezel there off there. Can you get it? See. I assume that we'll just. Oh, I'm bending the screwdriver. I'm sure there's some kind of special tool. I don't know. I'd hate to grab a hold of that with the channel locks and just crank on her. But I don't know. She's in there.
Would you be able to make some type of socket put on the ratchet with 2 small screws and go in that?
Yeah, like a hub socket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. Or we could put 2 screwdrivers in there and put a 3rd one in there and twist it. Once you do that, run back here to the tool cart, grab 2 small screwdrivers. Do that real quick.
Yeah.
Get you in here and show you. So, you know, I could grab a hold of that with the channel locks and spin it out, but it's just going to mar the crap out of it. So what we're going to do, Austin's grabbing 2 small screwdrivers. We're going to stick one in there and one in there, and then stick a 3rd one between them and try spinning on it and see if we can get that nut out of there. That's the plan. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's what we're going to try for. I would think if we do that, that'll pull out of there. I guess I could take a look at that new one and see what it looks like. That one doesn't quite fit there. I figured for sure I'd be able to just give her a couple thumps and she'd come loose, but not so much. Alright. Got a few more pieces in the arsenal here. Jump in here, Austin. I'll let you try to get at it. Probably probably should just go ahead and pull that cable out so it's not in the way. Let me double check what that end looks like. Should be able to pull that through. Actually, you know what?
Didn't get small enough screwdrivers.
We might be able to cheat. Is that was stuck, wasn't it? That was the whole problem, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the whole housing moving. In my head, I was like, oh, we'll just pull this cable out and leave the same outside housing, but that ain't gonna work. Let me see what you got.
I don't think they're small enough.
They might be. There you go. Might need to get a stouter. Yep, that works. There we go. Spin that bad boy off there. Alrighty, yeah, we'll need that, so keep that. Now we gotta get that nut off there. See if there's any wrenches in that bag.
So those I thought was maybe channel locks when I was in there.
Well, those are wire pliers. We won't use them on that. See if we got a wrench. It's not too tight, I'll get it with pliers, but I don't want to mar it all up. Looks about like a 5/8.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than that, buddy. Set that to the side so you don't keep grabbing it. There you go. Try that one. Not quite. What size was that?
14.
Okay, so that's probably 5/8 like I said. 14 is basically the same as a 9/16. Put that one right there by your hand that you're digging over. There you go. I don't know if you're going to be able to use it to closed in.
Looks too big.
Is it? Go the other way with it. Go up and down. That's the right size. I think. There it goes. Get it in there.
I forget if the fuel gauge works.
I can't remember.
Ow. Punched the windshield.
Now there'll be a nut on the back of that. You have to push that through the dash. Probably have to crawl up underneath there. Yeah, you're going to have to crawl up underneath there and pull that through.
Oh, boy, there's a lot worse.
You're going to have to crawl underneath there. Pull that out and put the new one in the same way.
Is that it? Yeah.
This needs ran the exact same way that one was. Did you see where it came out of the firewall?
No, it's not fully pulled out yet.
Pay attention how
I see it.
this needs to be ran the exact same way.
It comes to the hole and then over the steering and then
Okay.
to the hole again.
Okay, keep going.
That hole.
Okay, good job. Yeah. Get it.
Needs twisted. I think.
What do you mean it needs twisted?
This flat right here is in the wrong spot.
Oh, it's got an index. Okay, I didn't realize that.
There, I think I got it now.
Some of that $3. Yeah, that just pull it in there.
No, that index is still in the wrong spot.
Which way does it need to go?
Hang on.
Alright.
The wire needs to be twisted like that.
Top needs to go that way.
Yeah.
Go.
Not yet. Keep twisting it. It's not twisting over here.
You have to let me in there, buddy.
Need me to twist it out here?
No, I'm too fat to fit in there. It's almost there. No, it's really forward. There it goes. It didn't stay there though.
Sure.
It didn't,
I like it twisted on a thread.
yeah. Yeah, should have got a socket for that. Yeah, I mean, it's in there tight. It's not like it's got a ton of leverage on it. Tell you what, that's almost worth going and getting some steel wool cleaning on.
It somewhat looks like they're supposed to have a cover.
Yeah, they might supposed to have something in there. I don't know, but
It worked to get it off, so.
give her the old same treatment to tighten it back up, I reckon. What happened to that other screwdriver? Little hillbilly spanner wrench action. Oh, and now it wants to spin. Oh, that's handy. Why? So, what we're fighting here is, see that flat spot right there? There's a corresponding flat spot in the dash that, yeah, there's a corresponding flat spot in the dash that's supposed to hold that. For whatever reason on this new cable, it's not doing. It's not, the holding's not holding, you know what I mean? And so she's just spinning. So I'm just gonna have to say good enough's good enough on that one, I do believe. And I'm with Austin. I think there's supposed to be something in there, but we don't have it, so there's not gonna be nothing there. That bad boy can go in the dumpster. Quick hookup on the other end, and I think that part is done. And then we'll give her a whirl and see how much better she starts with a choke, because she doesn't much start at all without it. So let's go back outside. So that just goes up in there. This part, hold still, hold still. This part right here where there's no coating goes underneath that clamp. And then you bend the end of that through there and bend it over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bend a 90 in it and stick it through there.
And then bend it over again.
It just needs to be bent a 90, I think. So we got a 1/4 inch there. See how tight you can get that with hand? I'll get it. So I don't know how much of you guys missed, but the choke cable's on. Went to pull the GoPro out, or the tripod out from underneath the hood, and I realized it wasn't recording. No idea why. Only thing I can figure is the cold. I don't know. Anyway, cable's on. We got it adjusted right. And I just had a thought. I don't know that that battery's been charged since I used it to start the 60 in that last video. So our battery might be dead. I don't remember if that was this battery I used for sure or not. But anyway, let's see what this choke cable does for us to get it started.
I have a feeling if it was that battery, it wouldn't be hooked up.
Yeah. This thing hasn't been started in probably 2 months, I think. So
whenever you guys went to the last I knew it was started.
Without that choke, no way would have this thing ever fired up. I would have been out here dribbling gas in it and ether and everything else to get the fire up. So huge difference, huge difference. We'll let it run for a while and charge that battery out. I don't think that's the battery I used on that 60 because it was pretty well dead, but regardless, I'm still gonna let it run out on that battery, charge it up, and then we'll probably steal that battery for a moment once we give this Jeepster Commando a tune up. throw that battery in there, see if we can get it running. Alrighty, we got the 69 Jeepster Commando 3.8 Dauntless Buick V6. We've had this one running, or I should say a friend of ours had this running back in September, I think it was. It ran not well, but it ran. We're going to go ahead and throw some money at it, give it an oil change, tune up, you know, all the goods, get it running better, possibly put a fuel system of some sort in it. It does run, stop, move, and all that stuff without us doing any work, but literally I think our friend Josh and Tish that worked on it, I think all they had to do was clean the points up and hook up alternative fuel source. You know, they just ran a 1 gallon jug off, or ran it off a 1 gallon jug, and she started up, and I loaded it and unloaded it off the trailer on its own power. So hasn't technically drove this unit, but it has moved on its own power, which is a lot more than I can say for a lot of the things sitting around here. But anyway, we're going to get it running better. It's also going to go to the auction. That, like I said, that auction link, I'm going to have it posted in the description if you guys want to check that out. But we're going to see what we can do to make this run a little bit more happily. I reckon, go ahead and grab you a straight screwdriver, Austin.
Okay.
We'll start with getting the cap off, plug wires. That's interesting. Somebody took the time to stuff them through that loom on there, but we'll get cap, wires. Bring you guys up here where you can see us. Start right here. You push that down and turn on it. Come on to the front. You might need a better screwdriver than what that one is for that. There. Yep, there you go. That's what you gotta do. Do the one on the other side.
There.
We'll pick that up off there.
Try not get any dirt in it.
So apparently nobody keeps tune-up parts for Dauntless V6 in stock in around here. So I was able to get a cap and rotor. Nobody had plug wires in stock, short of buying a performance set for more money than what I was willing to spend on this. So what we ended up with was some plug wires for, I think, a 77 Dodge D150. Yeah. And so we're going to use most of those because, well, obviously that's a V8. Well, I guess not all of them were, but the truck we ordered them for was a V8. It fit the cap, and it had straight plug wire boots. So that is how we ended up with that.
Yep.
Looking at what we got here, I am pretty confident we may already be dead in the water with our tune-up, because come out of there. That rotor button is not going to replace this rotor button. I'll pull you in here. Yeah. One of these is not like the other. So, let's see. So I'm not sure what we'll do there. Obviously that's going back to the parts store.
So you don't
let's see if that cap is even remotely the same. That would be a negative.
Yeah, that's a screw.
That is not that's not gonna work. So we'll put plug wires on it, I guess, because
I'll
that's
put this back on.
what we have. Pull that back off there and let's see if it needs clean, buddy. So you look at these in here and see there's white and corrosion on them.
Yeah. We
need to get that off the best we can and clean this surface right here where that spark is the best we can. Need a small wire brush. Go get one of the brass brushes out of the eBay room.
Hey.
I'll go ahead and start fishing plug wires around. So this dude's getting part of it tuned up, unfortunately. And then that other stuff, we'll just take it back, I reckon, because it ain't gonna fit nothing else we got. There's a coil wire. Like I said, I ended up with a plug wire kit for a Dodge truck with a V8 in it, so we'll have a few extra plug wires when we're all said and done, but that's okay. That is quite okay. I'm not confident in that. That plug wire is only being held on by the boot and not the wire. So let's see what we get. Oh yeah, the wires are just falling off. They're not even. Man, that is way down in there.
Does that boot need to be cut?
No, you don't want to cut the boot, but what I'm talking about is how far that connection is down inside that cap. It's all the way down here. So you got to jam that outside of the boot because your boot ain't gonna go down so far. So you gotta get that. But that's part of mixed mess and parts. And now that's awesome because now I don't know which one of those I was working on because them plug wires are just falling off.
That one once.
Sure?
But, yeah.
You confident?
Yes.
Because that doesn't. Well, that cap's old enough, possibly the original. It's labeled, so that's nice. But what cylinder is that? I wouldn't have a clue on this.
Yeah.
Well, here's the firing order here, but it, we need to know what. Yeah, that tells us what order they go in, but it doesn't tell us what cylinder is what. A lot of times they're labeled right here on the intake runner, you know, for what cylinder that goes to. But I don't see that. Have to get out the old Googles.
Do you want me to open the gun thing?
No, we don't need that for this. I had a viewer a while back say, I can't believe you ain't got one of those. I do now. I had one years ago and it disappeared and I never bothered replacing it, but we got the old, we'll just put that on the ground over there. We got the old, what's that Vice Grip Garage calls it? The old Lone Wolf 9000, I think.
Yeah.
So we got one of those now, but let's see if we can figure out the firing order of a Dauntless. Figure out how to spell it. Dauntless Buick V6.
Is the one in the Wagoneer a V8 then?
Yep. Austin asked if our Wagoneer's got a V8 in it, and that would be an affirmative. So according to that, see that, Austin? It's 246. This is the evens. This is our odds. So I pulled off number 2, which is number 2 not labeled. Where's the label at? Yep, you're right. It was that far one. So our new wire is going to go there. We'll just leave that up.
I like that it has a picture of the top view.
Yeah.
It looks small in a picture. It's not as small.
Man, I am not confident in these plug wires at this point. Kinda. I don't know.
Yeah, because this rotor they clicked on.
Not rotor, cap, but yeah.
Yeah. Here's the wire brush.
I don't know. All we can do is try it. The way this thing ran before, we can't make it worse.
Oh, I think that went on.
No. At this point, I have zero faith in this. But it's... There we go. That ought to be far enough. Yeah, that fit in there nicely. Alright. That will work. Okay. Run that down there. Can you put it on that plug? When we did get this running, we did pull the plugs out of it, clean them up. None of them looked bad, so with what they cost, I ain't buying none. But these plug wires are hard as a rock, and they literally fall off the cap, so...
The rubber needs...
What'd you do? Did you push the rubber down over the wire?
No, the rubber needs to be bent more, because the edge of the thing is...
Yeah, so see, when you push that down, you gotta watch that you're not just pushing this off the end of the wire. I think that's what just happened. Split shine on the old cap. Let's see if you can get that off there without
breaking it.
Yeah.
Putting this in here.
Okay.
Which way does it turn?
Look at your cap. Which way is it going to come off for easier? Is one side taller than the other?
About the same.
Okay. You're gonna need a screwdriver, buddy. You're gonna hurt yourself. Watch using that little screwdriver as a pry bar.
Ow.
There you go.
Ew.
Yeah, ew. Find some brake fluid. We'll dump it in there.
I think there's some in the cabinet.
So if I remember right, this thing's a 69, and somewhere right in there, that's when AMC and Chrysler and all that stuff shifted hands and all that stuff, you know. And I think Fiat had a hand in AMC at one point. Is that right? Somebody correct me on that. Somebody knows the years of that. Let me know. When, you know what I'm saying, when all them when AMC changed hands, I know it was right there, and I think that's probably why our ignition system has got, you know, a different year cap or whatever. I'm guessing whenever that transition was made, probably determines what ignition parts you got, would be my assumption, because we all know how AMC was with them parts. So I mean, we got a Rochester 2-barrel and a Buick motor and all that stuff, and a Jeep. So Austin went to get brake fluid. I'm going to go ahead and type off coolant. At least put some in it. I say top off and I don't have anything in it. We can only hope she hasn't frozen busted at some point in her life. Want some fluid, buddy? Yeah, we're not using that stuff from the Stone Age. This is what Austin found. How old do you think that dude is? But we can use that stuff. This will go on the shelf as a
Decorative.
yeah, I don't know about putting that in our ride anymore.
It's probably not any worse than that.
I guarantee you you're correct, but we don't want to add to our problems.
Do I just pour it in one and it equals out, or?
Fill up both of them. Go ahead. Don't fill it all the way to the rim.
Oop. Go press the brakes.
No, it's all right. Put the lid back on for now. This thing did have brakes, believe it or not.
I was meaning to see if there's any air in it.
Well, it's leaking right there at that line, unless you spilled that.
I spilled some.
Oh, okay.
So I said, whoops. I gotta put this back on.
Yep. I need a screwdriver to put it on, too.
Probably. If this gas tank was support.
Yeah, it's not a good spot, is it? Take a look underneath, see how much is going on the ground, if any. Well, I don't see any drips yet. That was a good sign.
There.
Well, that's full for now.
Hood probably used to be blue.
Yep, the hood was green and blue and every other color of the rainbow at some point. Well, that's what we can do there. Slide underneath there and take the oil drain pan, buddy, and drain that tank. Or the tank. Drain that oil. So when we, I keep saying we, I didn't really do anything. When my buddy Josh got this running, the oil filter had a spot where it rubs the lower radiator hose, and where that had rubbed the paint off of it, and where that paint was rubbed off, the thing had a rust hole in it. So we did dig through our inventory from some of the estates we buy and find a oil filter that fit on. So it's had an oil filter and has only ran a few minutes since then. So we're leaving that oil filter and just gonna put some fresh oil in it. What's up, buddy?
Cold.
Yeah, it's cold. The longer we take, the colder we're gonna get. So our goal with this unit, he's gonna change that oil. We bought an ignition switch that I guarantee is wrong, but we're gonna try that. Currently it starts with a screwdriver. I don't want to run it through the auction like that. But go ahead and get that drain, buddy. And
What size do you think that bolt is?
I have no idea, buddy. I can't say I've ever worked on a Dauntless V6, but I would start with a crescent wrench. Just take it. Yeah.
There's a bigger one in there.
Yeah, just make sure you don't round it off. If it doesn't come loose real quick, we'll get an actual wrench. Normally I'd never tell you to use a crescent wrench on it, but I'm sure that's going to come out of there like molasses, because that oil looks like tar. Once you get it loose, spin it out with your hands.
I'm going to try to keep this hand not oily.
What?
Going to try not to keep this hand not oily.
You're going to try to keep that hand clean, is what you're trying to say. Oop, never mind. I was going to say hold up on that to the last second so you can pull it down and you won't get oil all over your hand. Melissa told me a story one time about when she changed oil for the first time in her car and her dad had her help her. He just told her to take the plug out and drain the oil, and she didn't know any better that the oil would come rushing out. I don't know what she thought would happen, but she had her face underneath there, so as soon as she pulled out the drain plug, all that oil came out and went in her blonde hair.
Aww. I think Steven's done that before.
That would not surprise me. Good. Go ahead and put that back in. Don't drop it in oil. You're going to go swimming for it. It's good. Ain't got a crank on them. Good job. All right, it is getting colder by the minute. I know it's not cold per se, like in comparison, but you know, it's a first cold day for me to be outside, so I'm over it already. But anyway, yeah. So we got hot battery in there. We tried to finish installing the ignition and learned that even though it plugs in, it does not fit through the hole in the dash. So that's nice. Believe it or not, the dome light works in this, dude. That kind of surprised me. Okay. So let's hit the key, see what we get, see if this thing will fire up again for us, and see if we can make some noise. Hold on to the switch and turn the key with the other one. Go ahead. Well, the thing must have got turned on us. She fires up. As soon as she fires, she runs out of fuel. So, not sure what's going on there. Go ahead again, buddy. That choke shut so hard that it pinched my finger. Go ahead. I wonder if we ain't got a real bad vacuum leak somewhere. I don't know. She starts pretty quick I think it's old fuel line. Go ahead and try it again, buddy.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. Way happier than what she was before, but that carburetor is still funky, burning off some oil residue off of manifolds.
Oh, is that why it was
Sounds
funky?
like we got a heck of an exhaust leak on this side. Not sure what's going on over there.
I might have also done some brake fluid on it.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That probably is oil or brake fluid instead of oil residue. But go ahead and crank her up. I'll see if I can keep it running long enough to get some heat in it. Give me just a second, Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still full on antifreeze for now until that thermostat opens. Go ahead. Ain't doing anything at a time. Go ahead, buddy. Hand me a straight screwdriver, Allison.
Do what?
Hand me a straight screwdriver.
Seems like every time I take my hand off the ignition,
Give me
it
a
does.
short one that's not a foot long. We'll try to idle this up a little bit. Like a pair of pliers or channel locks might do it.
But it seems to die every time I take my hand off the ignition.
Alright, go click on it again. Go ahead. I think it's got a big vacuum leak somewhere. As long as I hold that choke shut, she does alright. Definitely gonna have to figure that out before we start to sell it.
That wind is cold.
Yeah, it's cold enough, but then you put your hand in there and let the fan blow on it. What'd you do with your glove? Where's my glove? Cut my gloves off the dash. Thinking maybe if we get some heat in it, I'll be able to let go of this choke.
I never had gloves.
Did?
No.
Put that glove on.
Now I'm starting out with sleep.
What is?
Wait.
Oh. Let off for a minute. Gotta have a big vacuum leak somewhere. Well, give me a can of starting fluid. Crank that. Well, not enough. I was gonna say I cranked that throttle up, compensate for the extra air that it's getting, and hoping that it would sit there and idle without us babysitting the choke. Not gonna do it. I sent Austin after some starting fluid so we can spray around this intake and that carburetor base, see if we can't find this vacuum leak. I'm pretty confident it's sucking air pretty bad somewhere, but my fingers are so dumb that I can't figure out where. You know what I mean by feel. it's staying running on its own for a first. That's nice. Did I speak too soon? I did. As soon as that choke starts to open up a little bit, she shuts down.
It seems like it's getting cold a lot more.
So we ended up finding another jug of 2-cycle gas, and we got that dumped in there. So I'm gonna have Austin fire it up. Go ahead, fire it up, Austin. And I had a thought here. We have this tube here. Just give me a second, Austin. We had this tube here going to the crankcase vent, sucking air out, but that's wide open on that valve cover. So I was thinking maybe that is too much flowing too much. Essentially we got a 3/8 line that was sucking air, so pulled that off, shoved that extension in there to see what we get. I don't know if that's going to be our answer or not, but we do have some ether here, and we're going to have Austin fire it back up, and then with it running I'm going to spray this around there, and then wherever it's leaking, in theory it's going to rev up because it's getting that extra fuel instead of air. I guarantee it's got a vacuum leak somewhere, so we're going to see if we can find it. It's possible this carb's just worn out and sucking air around the base plate or something. We'll see. Go ahead, buddy. Y'all hear that? Right there when I spray that base. So either that, if we're really lucky, that base is just loose. A lot of times you see at these carburetors, somebody's over cranked that mounting bolts and have bent the flange on that carburetor to face that carburetor ends. But I'm hoping that's not our case. But I'm gonna grab a 1/2-inch wrench and see if we can tighten up on that. Hey Austin, grab me a 1/2-inch wrench, please. Although it is running longer than what it ever has been. That could be because I plugged that hose, so now we only got half the amount of leak. I don't know. Really hoping I can just snug up on that base, but don't bet you it's leaking around that shaft on that carburetor. We'll get this tightened up here real quick, see what we get. Definitely not loose. Somebody's plugged off a vacuum advance. Well, I just moved that hose there. Wow, that dude there ain't even on. Yeah, that's not nearly... some heat out of the motor. The hose that is on that vacuum advance is not sealing up at all. That's a big part of our problem. Well, what's that there, buddy? We'll sit there now. We'll sit there now, Austin. Can't give it any fuel, but a big part of that is we are getting some heat in it finally. This hose here is not sealing there at all. We need to find a smaller piece of hose. What's that, bud? I like how it's really flowing in it, but it doesn't. Hold the towel. Sorry, if it's actually circulating. We're gonna hit the stockpile and see, or stock room, see if we got any vacuum hose and either cap that or make that fit better. Maybe a small zip tie will help seal it up. Start there since we know that that's definitely leaking, and go from there. Be right back. Somewhere on the passenger side of the base of the carburetor there's a massive vacuum leak. You can hit it with some ether and she just revs all up. So I think we're going to change that base gasket and pray that's is the problem. I first thought it was the shaft, where the shaft goes through the base plate of the carburetor. So I held my thumb over that and sprayed around with the ether, and it still revs up. So it's not that. And there's no ports, there's no nothing in that vicinity. So I'm hoping it's something simple as a base gasket on that carburetor. So unfortunately for now, that's going to be it. We are out of daylight. We're out of parts, and
heat.
Yeah, we're out of heat. We're pretty chilled. So that's gonna wrap this one up. Stay tuned this week. I'm gonna try to do a midweek video of getting this thing up and running properly. We've got a road grader we gotta get going. We gotta get our semi going, like I said earlier. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to admit defeat on this one for now. It runs good. Just got that carburetor issue, so but it's definitely good enough to show somebody it runs good. But my goal is to have this thing in drivable form before going to this consignment auction. Once again, that link is in the, we're going to put that link in the description. And these trucks are not officially consigned yet. They are not there. They will not list them until they have them on site. So if you click on that link and these vehicles aren't showing up, that's why. They're not in the sale just yet, but they will be this week sometime. Our deadline is a week from today that you guys are viewing this, to have them there. And we have another Jeep Wagoneer to have there as well. I'm not very optimistic that one's going to make it because it needs body work, and I'm not a body man. So anyway, thanks for tagging along, guys. Not the greatest video in the world, I know. The plan every week is to start on this next build, and it just hasn't happened yet. That's always something coming up. This week kind of foobarred me. I didn't plan very well. One thing about the holidays, yesterday being Thanksgiving, I wasn't thinking about the steel suppliers being closed, and I had planned to go today to get steel and get started on that, and nobody was open. So that's on me 100%. But anyway, thanks for tagging along, guys. Like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff, share, and we'll see you on the next one, hopefully later this week. Peace.